Senator Manchin. And, in December of last year, Congress passed historic bipartisan climate innovation legislation that I worked on closely in the Environment and Public Works Committee with Senator Carper. This was the most significant greenhouse gas reduction bill to be signed into law in well over a decade. Importantly, it won't raise costs for American families. So I look forward to working with you, Senator Manchin, on energy and environmental innovation in this same bipartisan spirit. Today's hearing is intended to set the baseline of knowledge about contributions to global emissions. It's a very worthwhile goal. We're holding this hearing at a very critical moment. Over the past 2 weeks, the Biden administration has rolled out a series of indefensible and ineffective climate policies that will sacrifice, that's the term used by the nominee to be Secretary of Energy, the sacrifice tens of thousands of American jobs. This hearing can provide an important reality check. I think we have to stop fooling ourselves into thinking that eliminating U.S. fossil fuel production is going to solve the problem, because it won't. It will just make America less competitive and less energy secure. The energy industry has been a critical engine of economic recovery in the past. After the Great Recession, while the rest of the economy was still struggling, the oil and gas industry was investing and adding jobs at a brisk pace. Because of these investments, the U.S. has some of the lowest energy costs to consumers in the world. Now, President Biden wants to kill energy jobs and drive up energy prices. Undermining America's energy security will not solve climate change. It's unrealistic to expect that China, India, and Russia, and many other large emitters will stop using fossil fuels. It's just unrealistic. They know the importance of affordable energy to their own economies. Eliminating U.S. fossil fuels isn't going to change any of that. As data from the International Energy Agency has shown, the U.S. has become a significantly smaller source of carbon dioxide emissions worldwide. U.S. emissions now account for just 14% of the global total. Well, that's down from 25% just 20 years ago. Over that same period of time, the share of total emissions from China jumped from 13% of the world's carbon emissions all the way up to nearly 30%, from 13 to 30% of the world's carbon emissions due to China. And it's not just China. Emerging economies like India, Brazil, South Africa, and others are all increasing energy use as they develop and grow in population. The International Energy Agency expects that by the year 2030, energy use in these and other developing countries will jump by almost 20%. With almost 1 billion people still lacking access to electricity around the world, addressing climate change isn't a priority for just developing countries, especially if it hampers their economic development. They do not consider it a priority in their effort for economic development. Affordable, reliable, and scalable energy are the keys to reducing energy poverty, to improving human welfare, and to powering economic growth. These trends means we have to focus on practical solutions. And its most fundamental level, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, is a technology challenge. Instead of raising the cost of traditional energy sources, we should work to lower the cost of alternate technologies like carbon capture and advanced nuclear reactors. Until that happens, traditional fuels are going to continue to capture the lion's share of global energy demand. An approach based on innovation plays to our strength in America. American innovation is the key to reducing global emissions, and our goal should be to encourage, support that process and that progress. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.